This is Twit.
Since the Glass Explorer program began, like a little less than a year ago at this point, explorers have pretty much become accustomed to getting monthly updates, and not always earth-shattering updates, but definitely on a cycle of every month there's a new update that comes out and you have something new to look forward to. No update happened in February. Google employee Teresa Z confirmed that the monthly update cycle is actually changing. The new plan is that Google is going to focus on bigger updates, and bigger updates don't necessarily follow a monthly schedule, right? It's going to take time for them to get it ready. They'll roll it out when they're ready. But beyond that, you might be surprised to know that Glass, since it was released to explorers, has been running Ice Cream Sandwich 4.0.3. The plan is to see an update to the device to 4.4 KitKat very soon from its current version. So we have that to look forward to as well. And I wonder, I mean, aside from, I think Bluetooth LE is one capability that comes with that upgrade. I'll be curious to see what that brings to Glass.
Skipping right over the Jelly Bean.
Yeah, well, good. That actually, if they were to upgrade to Jelly Bean, wouldn't that be kind of weird?
That would be really
like,
weird.
wait a minute, why not just come on, you're always behind Glass,
Well, one of the things that they did with KitKat was made Android able to run on low-powered devices better, right? That was one of the main goals. And I'm sure that Glass and the upcoming Google Watch were like front and center in mind for that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I have an unrelated question about this. A lot of people are getting their Explorer, like the invites are going out to a lot more people.
Yeah,
to
they've
get
opened
Glass.
up again.
They've opened up again, and I've had
they're like
friends,
referral invites,
right? Yeah. Exactly. But who I would say, sorry about that, who I would say normies are getting invites to Glass, and I'm being asked constantly if they should shell out $1,500 for the Glass, and I assume there may even be people listening to All About Android who have gotten the invite.
Sure.
Do you think the Explorer program should be used for those type of people? Like a friend of mine was asking
for non-developers.
For non-developers, he's most likely not going to write an app. He was thinking it might be cool to bring to conventions. He's probably not going to wear it day to day, and he just kind of wants to test it out. Do you think it's worth $1,500? Are the directions good enough? Are the notifications good enough? Is it truly something that someone should shell out $1,500?
How much disposable income does this person have? Because $1,500 is a lot of money. Can this person's business pay for it? Is there some sort of business expense angle that you can get for it? I think Glass is interesting in all that it's capable of. Is it worth $1,500 for somebody out of a pure curiosity standpoint? I really think that depends on the person whether $1,500 is worth it for that, because some people are going to just think it's cool to have something that other people don't have. Other people are going to get it and be like, like me, I take pictures with it and I record video with it. I don't really use it for its extended capability because I'm not wearing it all the time. It's like an experience device. It's like I'm doing this thing, so I'm going to bring it with me. It's not something I wear every day. If you're willing to devote yourself to the platform and be really active on Google
how often
Plus,
a week?
All that kind of, it really just depends,
Yeah. How often a week do you think that you use it?
I think we have to open it up from a week.
How?
And say, how often in a month do I use it? And it's maybe a couple of times a month. Because I'm not using it for all the things. Same
thing, Gina? I mean,
it's kind of lost on me. Yeah,
it's kind of like a beer hat. You put it on when you're like at the game. You know what I mean? It is really an experience device. But here's the thing: if someone is so curious and has $1,500 to spend on Glass, there's a return period, right? I don't know if it's 15 days or 30 days.
I think it's 15, but I could be wrong.
Is it 15? Okay, so 15 days. I mean, I would say.
I thought it was 15 minutes. Didn't they reduce it to 15 minutes?
Just like app purchases.
Right. It's like the App Store now.
Wait a minute, 30 days.
It's 30. Yeah, so you get a 30-day return period. Say to your friends, look, if you're that curious and you're willing to, put down $1,500, get it. Be really careful with it. Try it out. Give it the full-on college try for 3 weeks. And if you don't like it, you return it. You get your money back, right? But I have to tell you, it is not a consumer product. It's not a consumer product. The arms don't bend on the glasses, you know, and it's still, people still stare. It's still, you know, it kills the battery on your phone. Like, there's still so many things about it that just aren't consumer ready. And look, you know, $1,500 is different to different people depending on your, you know, how much you make and how much disposable income you have. But I would say generally my answer would be no, unless someone is really curious and really wants to do it, just is looking for your permission. In that case, just be like, yeah, there's a 30-day return period.
Not to mention, I have to say for myself, and you know, I see some people in the chat room like, for shame, you know, not many people have glass, and you're using it as little as possible, you know, as little as you do. And then, not to mention, I should say that Leo Laporte of the Twit Network bought this pair of glass for me, so there's a little bit of guilt there from my regard. But I think
you're
Leo
on 2.0,
kind of
right?
What's that? Yeah, I have the new version. I'm not saying that I don't like glass, but I will say that in light of kind of the recent trend of this kind of split between people who are pro-glass or anti-glass, and you know, you kind of run this risk when you go out into public and wearing glass. You got to be okay with that. You have to be okay to be basically a billboard for glass right now at this point, whether you like it or not. You have to be okay with the fact that when you walk out the door with glass, you are inviting people, whether they love it or hate it, to talk to you about it and possibly more. Yeah. And I'm just like, no, it's not worth that to me. So I don't wear it out that much for that reason.
You have to be willing to be called a glass hole by some irate anti-Google person or something. They're gonna...
but a glass hole, like, I suppose so, for people that just label anyone wearing glass as a glass hole. But you know, I guess I see a glass hole as being something different, right? I see a glass hole as wearing glass and refusing to accept the fact that other people might have a problem with it, and being like, well, what are you talking about? It's my right to wear these and walk anywhere and take video, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, you have to respect the people that are around you too. Like, people don't understand glass, so they're going to react to it. And it's not a bad thing. It's just people need to get educated about it. I don't know.
Yeah. Final quick question. How long does a battery life last on a heavy usage battery life?
You mean with like all sorts of syncing?
Well, yeah, like syncing and getting notifications, like basically how much you use your phone, but on glass.
Well, it's been a while since I've worn glass like that.
All day, yeah.
But when I did, I made it through a good portion of the day with it.
Okay.
Like that. But yeah, again, I think it kind of depends. Yeah, it's really dependent on how much you're navigating. So you got the GPS antennas on, and you know, how much it's actually syncing and everything. Are you in an area that gets, you know, good coverage, or you know, are you connected to Wi-Fi, or are you connected to
3G?
Yeah. So well,
Thanks.
I don't know if it does 3G, but anyways, that was a tangent, but definitely a good question.
Thank you.
Because I know that people watching the show wonder about glass in that regard.
Especially since invites have been going out.
And some people are yelling at us right now going, oh, I hate you. If I had glass, I'd wear it all the time and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, the attention thing, though. I mean, you know, I live in New York City now. I take the subway to work.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to, you know, I'm not whipping out my, you know, $3,000 laptop on the subway either, or like reading. Like, I just, you know, I don't want to ask people. I don't want to ask to be mugged, right? Like, I'm not trying to draw attention to myself with this, you know, with headgear. And frankly, because I know this sounds, I complain about this, but because the arms don't fold, like you've got this bag, it's not easy to travel with. It's just a lot. And so, and taking on, yeah, you know, after a while, it's just like, this is too much of a hassle. You know, I'm not getting as much value out of this, you know, as it is hassle. Although that said, I'm waiting for the next version. I just upgraded. I just swapped in for V2. I've been kind of messed up because I've been moving and my mail was getting forwarded and whatever. And I'm going to give it another full try with the new version. My phone would you know, the constant connection of my phone would kill my phone's battery sooner than I wanted, and that's partially like on my phone's battery. You know, like it's not glass, but that was another reason why I was like, you know, I don't know if I want to have this on all day long. So it really depends on how, you know, how you live and whether or not you're okay with drawing attention to yourself.